In a financial downturn, doing more with less is critical. Supporting, motivating your sales reps to not lose hope, but instead become the best versions of themselves is a key success factor. Here to share some of their key learnings and suitable actions is Danijela Hagblom and Engman from Megadeals. Danijela Hagblom is awarded TV presenter, media coach, and head of media production at Megadeals. Engman is the co-founder of Megadeals Advisory and also the author of the book on the same topic, among other things. Together, they help startups and Fortune 500 companies to scale and grow. So help me in welcoming them to the stage.
Thank you. Before we start, I need to make a very important call. I hope you don't mind.
Danijela Hagblom.
Hi, Danijela. This is Christopher from Megadeals.
Hi, Christopher. How are you doing?
Very well, very well. So I really thank you for last week's meeting, and I hope you liked the proposal I gave you.
Yeah, of course. I'm definitely on board and about everything we discussed at the previous meeting.
Great. So we can proceed?
Yeah, as I said, I am on board. But Christopher, before we proceed, I need to talk to my boss, Svante, and discuss a few points of that meeting with him. And also, I got some questions via email from our head of legal and also head of IT security. They are concerned about a few aspects, but these are just formalities. We are good to go. I'm quite sure about it.
Okay, but can we book a meeting like Tuesday?
Christopher, I need to go. I have a meeting in 3 minutes, so I will get back to you. Okay? Thank you for calling. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Who has experienced a similar situation? So the most common mistake we see, especially from junior and medium senior salespeople, is that they underestimate how many stakeholders we need to engage. It's by far the most common thing. And it's especially common, I mean, it already starts when you're selling to an organization with a few hundred employees. But when you also sell to an organization with even several offices, maybe around the Nordics or around the world, it starts to be a very tricky game. And one thing that we have discovered is that most organizations talk too much about their products. The slightly better ones are pretty good at articulating the customer pain. So if you use the problem-solution dialogue, you end up with Stefan. Stefan is sitting on floor -5. It's very low ceiling, and there's under the parking lot, so it's kind of oil dripping still. The EVs are not fully deployed. And when we're flushing above, it's like, you can hear it in his room. He's got 3 big screens. He's super keen on knowing all the details about your product. And if you're using that pitch, and I can assure you, you probably have experienced this, most of you, but you might not have put your finger on it. If you run that pitch with the CEO or some VP, etc., they'll say, talk to Stefan. They say, yeah, great. Maybe interesting, but Stefan is responsible for that in our organization. And it's very hard to get Stefan to sell this up in the organization. We're very obsessed with finding personas. I'm not saying those are not important. But when selling to larger organizations, the hierarchical differences are more important. And I can talk about that for days, but personas can actually also stretch decision makers apart. But that's not today's topic. So one of the things you need to do, and we can't cover this at length, but you need to layer the communication so it fits the hierarchical levels. So if you look at this as a heat map, the top half is what you need to talk about with the senior decision makers. And the below half, this is a very rough division. The lower half you speak to Stefan about. And a lot of, some of you might come from SaaS companies, etc. What I see SaaS companies that do, they use the same method when they sell to SMBs as when they go to big enterprises. And then you end up in the basement. This is one of my favorite topics, and we run workshops around this. Another way to see an organization like this is to see it as a stakeholder map. And this is very abbreviated, but we always use an intelligent stakeholder map where we map out the right people on the right level, but we also keep intelligence around them, a bit like CIA. And as I said, when we do this with our clients, it's almost always the case that you speak to 3-4 people, but we know that there's 37 people on various functional areas, various hierarchical levels that need to say yes or at least be neutral. So when does the Megadis discipline apply? It's born out of multi-billion-dollar deals. Christer is actually part of the book, for example. And also several $100 million, so very large deals. That's where it comes from. But what we saw very fast is that it's not the amount. There are 4 factors that determine when you move from selling to orchestrating. And it's connected to, first of all, you need to anchor decisions cross-functionally. You need to anchor them, as I showed you before, across the hierarchy. And if you end up in that situation that I had with Danijela, do you think it's a high probability that we will win? No. An easy giveaway. Many people make the mistake to think a budget and a sign-off level is the same thing. Christer might have a budget of 100 million to spend, but he might have a 50,000 euro as a sign-off level. So just a quick, that you can start using tomorrow. And the third complexity is when your offering is complex. So it's not so easy to bring in a new salesperson and they can sell after just a few months. What they typically do instead is they bring in the best people. Can you come and help me, Christer? Sorry for using you today. Can you come and help me in this meeting? They ask so complicated questions. And Christer's like, yeah, I'm booked for the coming 3 weeks. Like, can we meet them like 9 in the evening or something? And then the fourth one, you're entering into a mix of processes and surrounding technologies and KPIs on the customer side. When you have these 4, we have found what might be the business world's biggest kept secret. We call it the rainmaker dependency. So any company, and we are so sure of it that we can say, when we meet a company with those 4, we can say, you have rainmaker dependency, and then we describe it, and it's right. Sometimes someone is going like, no, we actually don't. We have a pretty good spread among our key account managers. And then I ask a follow-up question. So are any of the key people supporting them in their deals? Yeah, but these 10 are running the deals and they have a pretty good spread. Yeah, but okay, let's take out the top 3 people. They're not allowed to support them. Would you have a good distribution then? And then the answer is no. So what can you do when you have a rainmaker dependency, which will give you the ultra short version of today? So first of all, and this is very simplified, but you need to take away tasks from the rainmakers. And rainmakers are not only salespeople. It can also be a CTO, it can be head of delivery, but it's typically, even in large companies, in Ericsson it's 4 people. Out of 5,000 commercial people, 4 are the rainmakers. And you need to scale, Danijela will cover this, you need to scale the rainmakers with video content and marketing reach on the most prioritized accounts. So when Danijela is internally selling that, when she meets her colleague, they already know who I am, who Megadis is, etc., etc. And we need to upgrade the team, how to optimize the team play, but also certain individual skills around these deals. So there is one area where this is already the case. Not in Sweden, though, because here the doctors are taking notes and they're doing all the admin themselves. But that's not today's topic. But in Germany, for example, they have a more strict split. So a brain surgeon can do 20 brain surgeries per day. So he or she is coming to a prepared room, all the tools are there, it's clean. Even the patient is even open up. So he or she comes in, get the gloves, 10 blade, they do their thing and go out. This is how we need to treat the rainmakers. This is a bit hard in Sweden because we're all the same value, which I don't debate. But in the business world, it's a bit like in sports. If we want to win the league, we need to realize that there is a difference. So, before leaving to Danijela, these are all the topics covered in the Megadis discipline. And actually the ultimate goal is to get segment and category dominance. And you can't get that with traditional lead generation cold calling methods. You need to build the momentum on the top 20, top 100, etc. accounts. I've covered a bit on the first one. Account intelligence is the extended version. You saw that stakeholder map with all intelligence around it. I actually lost the deal a few months before we launched that piece. We had a yes from 20 people, not just Danijela. But then they said, I had a call, it's like a Zoom call with 20 people. And the lead person there said, are you on board? Are you on board? And they all said, yes, yes. And there was like a pause. And then they said, we just need, and this is like a cartoon. We just need to get Willem on board. I'm like, Willem who? What the fuck? That's the head of Europe. I had missed him because I didn't have this stakeholder map. And then video creation, and you also need to use targeted media that you purchase, that I will cover a bit, and Danijela will go through some social selling tricks. Skills we won't cover, individual skills we won't cover, and she will show you some really cool AI stuff as well. Anyway, over to you, Danijela.
Thank you. Yeah, so Christopher presented a quite complex mix of methods and different strategies we use in Megadeals Advisory in order to scale Rainmakers. But in the next minutes, I'm going to focus on media tools that you can use in order to make your top performers perform even better. And I think there is no better way to describe how media really can enhance your performing skill and make your reach much bigger is then using this analogy. Hollywood effect. Divorce, cheating, weight loss, all these are quite trivial topics. You will probably agree with me. And most of us, we go through this at some point in our lives, or at least know someone who experienced this. So the topics are not interesting per se, but the people who the topics are connected to are very interesting. We call them celebrities. In business, we call them rainmakers. So if I would tell you that Maria X from Kalmar got divorced yesterday because her husband was cheating on her, you wouldn't care, neither about Maria or the story. But if that happens to these people, then you suddenly care. In the same way, like Maria is your sister, colleague, or someone you care about. The difference is that you probably never met these people and you will never meet them. But thanks to the media exposure, your brains are tricked into something called familiarity principle. So you believe subconsciously that you know them, and that's why you start paying attention and caring. And it's the same in business. If you use media in a very efficient way, then you can create this Hollywood effect around your rainmakers that will, in the easier way, open the doors to important stakeholders, decision makers, etc. And how we do that in Megadeals Advisory, we use two strategies. One is purchased media, another is organic media. We don't have time to go into details about all layers within those two media categories, but we will just touch upon the most important points connected to them. And it would be very unfair if I stand here and tell you more about purchase media when I have a man who is the father of IP targeting. So I will give you, Christopher, the word to present purchase media and how we use it at Megadeals Advisory. And then after that, I'm going to share some very concrete tips that you can use in your social selling here and now, directly after this event. Okay.
Perfect, thank you.
Here you are.
So the effect you want to create, and I can give you a story. So in one company, we wanted to sell to Maersk. the big Danish shipping company, actually Denmark's biggest company. So we were targeting them with purchase media that you see here, both Maersk as a whole organization, certain individuals. We even looked up where Ann Ugla lived. She lives at Östermalm, one of the biggest owners, and we ring-fence her with a geofence. So we started to massage them with media, and we even wrote specific content to get their attention. But we didn't reach out through email or phone or anything. Eventually, they called us and wanted to have a meeting. And when we went down to Copenhagen, it was myself and 2 other people. Normally, and this company was 25 employees, so relatively small. So normally, you come to the reception, you sign in, they come a bit late, and they don't call me Christopher, they call me Christian, and then they, mix up the company name. But this time, there was 12 people waiting for us in the reception. I mean, this is like our version of Ericsson. So they're waiting in the lobby, 2 from the C-level, 2 VPs and 8 other people. We were already signed in, and they knew us by name, not just the company, but me and my 2 colleagues. So we didn't have to present each other. And by the coffee machine, one of them said, "We're so grateful that you guys came." And I started to laugh, like, this is a hilarious comment. But then I saw his face was dead serious. And I realized that they are honestly happy that we came because we have created such a strong impression through media that they feel they got the Hollywood effect and a bit starstruck even. So it was very easy because we had paid the way with many stakeholders, very easy to get the pilot and get the rollout going, etc. Another way to see it is like this. So ring fencing both offices with Meta, so Facebook and Instagram, ring fences certain people's homes, and also targeting IP numbers, as Danijela said, actually invented 2007. Yeah. And a few other techniques. This is just a snapshot. We want to create this Hollywood effect for the company and the people that they eventually will meet, and also during the sales process. When we're in, we want to build a consensus. And you want to match the content to the face. This is how it can look as well. Over to you.
Thank you. So purchase media, it has really great effect when you use it efficiently. But in the spirit of today's topic, we talk about how to survive 2023 with a little bit less resources, both financial and human resources. That's why we decided to talk about organic media and more precisely enterprise social selling, something that doesn't require so much investment. Yes, it requires your time investment, and that's correct, but I will soon show you how to make it less time consuming. This is a recent statistics from LinkedIn. 78 of businesses that use social selling outperform those that don't. I mean, this is a huge potential. And I'm not surprised. I'm sure you are not surprised because most of us, we know how powerful it is. But wouldn't you agree that most of us at the same time don't use the full potential of LinkedIn? That is free. So let's do a quick checkup here in the room. How many of you do not post frequently on LinkedIn due to lack of time? Please raise your hands. Okay, many hands. And how many of you do not post frequently on LinkedIn due to lack of ideas, creativity? Yeah, almost equally many. And it doesn't surprise me, because these 2 reasons are the main common reasons why people do not post on LinkedIn. I'm going to focus on LinkedIn because we talk about business here. So other platforms they are good for business as well, but we try to narrow it down. This is the most common flow when it comes to social selling or any kind of social media activity. You need to create a post, you need to engage with the audience that engages with your posts, and then you need to connect and engage with other people's posts to expand your network. And there is a way today, thanks to AI, to make this process streamlined and more time efficient. And I will show you how we do that. When it comes to creating a post, the most common problem most of us face is like starting from a blank page. You know, you are stressed, you have any ideas, you go on LinkedIn, you see so many brilliant posts, and you think, oh my God, what do these people do? Do they work? How do they have time to write such a long and brilliant posts on a daily basis or weekly basis, whatever? So, I suggest let's keep this blank page moment and start from a ground which is AI generated. And that's what AI is for today, not to take the material, AI-generated material, and copy-paste it, is to get a solid base and then put your personal touch on it. There is one tool, I will share my screen now just to show you how it works, called Taplio. Has anyone heard about this program Taplio before? You, good. So I'm sure this is not the unique one, and it's not like I'm advocating for using this particular one, but I needed to give you a concrete example and show how it works in practice. So please feel free to find the one that works the best for you. What you can do here, when it comes to creating content, you can choose 3 paths to avoid skipping this blank page moment. One is going to this, can everyone see what is on the screen? Yeah, good. AI-generated content. Look at this now. So the program scans the industry, which is industry of my interest, marketing. Let's see, what did I get here? Okay, marketing topics, good. It scans my previous posts and see what I'm writing about on a regular basis. And then it gives me ready-to-post texts. As I said, I don't recommend that you post it directly, although you can do it. You go to Edit and Post, Edit to Queue if you want to post it at a particular time, or post it now. But, of course, there is a chance that someone else has got the same suggestion from the platform or some other platform. So always please add your personal touch and tweak it in a way that suits you. That's one way. Another way, if you don't like these suggestions, you go to a section called Viral Content. And here, what the program does, it scans, again, the post within the industry of your interest, and then it shows you top performing posts that are similar to what you usually post about. And the third option I want to suggest here is industry news in the same platform. So here you get some great news from the industry, articles that you can repost, or again, be inspired to create your own post. So these are pretty simple to use. You can do similar with ChatGPT, with Bing. You can get ideas there and get the base for your post, tweak it, work with your language, etc. And this will make creation process so much shorter, so much easier, and it will be much less stressful. The next step in this social selling process is to engage with your audience. And how you can do that in the same tool, let me show you super quickly. You go to contacts list, and what you get here is the list of the people that liked your posts or the people that commented on your posts. This is a perfect prospect list, because if someone, speaking on Hollywood effect, if someone already seen your content, seen your company, seen your face, it's much easier to spark conversation with these people. So why not using that opportunity? You can also create your own lists of people that you want to engage with. And the last step, and then I will stop talking about different AI models, is to engage with other people's posts, because that's the way how we all grow together on social media, number one, and number two, how you expand your presence and reach outside of your current network. So you create lists of the people that are, again, important for signing a deal, and then the program will show you their social media activity, and you, in the best and most efficient way, monitor their social media activity and engage with them. And here comes the thing. When you're about to engage with someone you don't know, then we face almost the same problem like creating a content from a blank page. Like how to approach that person, what to say. You need to do a research, you need to know something about the person, otherwise you will have quite a generic and unoriginal approach. The last tip I would like to give you here is how to find the most efficient icebreaker for a person you've never been in contact with. I usually, for that purpose, use Bing, because Bing, as you know, compared to ChatGPT, it searches the whole web. And in my personal opinion, please tell me if I'm wrong, I think that Bing has better personal search at this moment than ChatGPT. So what you do, you write in Bing chat, give me an icebreaker for LinkedIn conversation with, let's do a test here. Is there any volunteer here who I could test? I just need a name and surname, nothing else. Tove?
Oldebeck. Tove O-L-D-E B-E-C-K. B-E-C-K.
Back, like this? Okay, good. Again, if the name is common and there are many people with the same name and surname, then you can write name and then the name of the company just for the safety. So we'll see here. Maybe you can ask her about her latest project on her insights on leadership in the new economic climate. Is that? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
I think it works pretty well. And as you know, all these AI tools, they are becoming better and better with every day. So by using these tools, you make it more time efficient, you appear to be more creative, and it gives you more space to be more personal.
We have covered the light version of some of the topics, but we will both give you the chance to get the book and also a secret link to our video content page. Before we'll have a small competition, and we will have someone introducing the competition to you. So can we play?
Yeah, we have a personal message, right, from Elon Musk for you all here in the room.
Wow, you've been an awesome audience. Well, most of you anyway. Christopher and Danijela, next time you bring up a discussion about AI tools, you better invite me to share the stage with you. Now, I have a question for everyone. So, why are you interested in reading the Mega Deals book?
And that was all from us. I think you got some useful things to use tomorrow, and also some things to think about. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.